We now turn our attention to the next phase in aerobic glycolysis, the citric acid cycle. We want to pay particular attention to the fact that it is cyclic in nature and why. In this lesson, we'll examine this as we put the cycle into the larger context of carbohydrate metabolism. The figure below is meant to illustrate the fact that all major macronutrients, glucose, fatty acids, and amino acids, can be converted to acetyl-CoA and therefore feed into the citric acid cycle. For this reason alone, it becomes a key metabolic pathway. Not only do metabolic intermediates potentially all feed into the tricarboxylic acid or TCA cycle, but the reduced cofactors of this cycle, as well as those from glycolysis, feed into the final phase of aerobic metabolism. Each of these reduced cofactors transfers electrons to an electron transport chain, and those electrons are eventually passed to oxygen. In the process of electron transport, a pH gradient is built, which can then be used to drive the endergonic process of generating ATP. The use of electron transport to drive ATP synthesis is referred to as oxidative phosphorylation, in contrast to substrate-level phosphorylation. Recall that metabolism has two main branches. Catabolism involves the oxidative breakdown of nutrients, while anabolism is the reductive synthesis of biomolecules. We have seen that almost all catabolic pathways feed in some way into the citric acid cycle. From the figure below, notice that intermediates within this cyclic pathway also feed into multiple anabolic pathways. Because of its role in both catabolic and anabolic pathways, we refer to it as amphibolic, relating to both, though it is primarily catabolic in the nature of its individual steps. As you can see, the citric acid cycle has a key role to play, and this is why it is cyclic in nature. That is to say, it is a catalytic cycle, which regenerates the molecule on which it initially builds.